Once upon a time, I worked a job that I absolutely hated. Now, this was no typical 9 to 5 job, but I was stuck in a position where I just felt like I couldn't breathe. Every single day, I was starting to dread. And, when you have that feeling, you just feel like nothing is going right for you, and you sort of question and second guess everything that you do in life. Fast forward to today, I'm able to grow and scale my online business to a place where not only is the income exponentially growing, but it's also allowed me to earn back my time and spend time with the people that I care about, pursue the creative endeavors and hobbies that I've always enjoyed, and everything has just turned around 360 degrees. So, in this video, I want to quickly share with you that exact journey that I went through step by step, how I started off working something I disliked and then made my way to something I actually actively enjoy. And I want to share some insights along the way that could help you too. So let's just start from the very beginning. I grew up as a classical musician. I started playing piano at the age of 5. And when I was in high school, I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was starting to look at universities, different colleges, and I actually went into nursing my very first year out of high school. So I live in the city of Toronto, and I went to the University of McMaster, and I did nursing for a year there. But I very quickly realized early on that it just wasn't for me, and so my parents were actually urging me to do piano performance, like classical piano at U of T, because they were like, "Oh, Chris, this has been something you've been doing all your life. You might as well get your degree in piano so that you can build a teaching studio, because that's a very dependable way to make a living, right?" And so that's exactly what I did. I went through 4 years of classical training and university, and it was in my second year where I started teaching privately and started building up my teaching practice there. But I knew deep down that this was always something that I was doing just to make a living. No matter how long I did it for, a couple of years, all the way up to 8, 9 years, almost a decade, I never really had a love or passion for it. And in fact, most of the time I was actually dreading the upcoming lessons. Even though the students were great, many of them were fantastic students, they practiced hard, it was just never something I loved to do. I never really wanted to teach piano that much, and I was really only doing it to make a living. So by the time I had graduated in 2018, and then 2019 I was teaching full time. Even in 2020, the beginning of the year, I was teaching full time up to 45, 50 hours a week. And to be completely honest, it was really a struggle. And I can easily say that that was like the low point in my life. Even though the income was consistent and, I couldn't complain, just deep down I felt depressed. It's not a word I use lightly, but I really did feel like, what is the whole point to this, right? There has to be something better. Then when COVID hit, it actually gave me the sudden opportunity to turn things around. And let me explain. So, a lot of private teachers, they have students coming over to their homes to teach, or in my case, I was also driving to other students' homes to teach as well. And when COVID hit, essentially my student base disappeared overnight, or a bunch of them went online, right, for the pandemic. And so because I suddenly had a bunch of students take a break, I now had a lot more free time on my hands. And then I realized, wait, I had just already started a YouTube channel like a couple years before about my newfound interest in songwriting and orchestration and composing music. So why don't I spend more time on YouTube and start creating more content about what I actually love, and who knows where this might go, right? So that's exactly what I did. I spent a few more hours a week working on the YouTube channel, trying to be super consistent, trying to learn what my audience wanted, and starting to basically create content for YouTube full time. And eventually, my audience grew to the point where I was able to create my first online course for them, sell it to them, and it made a profit that very first week. And so it essentially was the proof of concept for me that not only is it possible that you can monetize your knowledge online, but it could actually be scalable with the right tools and systems in place. So that really gave me a lot of excitement. And from there on out, 2020 all the way to present day 2025, 2026, the online business is now my full-time gig. So each year I was able to offer something new to my audience. I was able to grow my audience and just give them more of what they wanted and what they needed. And the best thing of all is that I was able to do something that I actually enjoyed, talking about songwriting, composition, orchestration. And I think I really do enjoy this material because I was never forced to do it. I know that as a kid, I did enjoy performing, but I recall many times where I had to practice for my teachers, or I had certain assignments that I had to do and practice pieces for those. And it never was just that fun for me. Um, Especially when you're a kid, you naturally want to rebel and do your own thing, right? But it was the opposite for composing music or writing things. I was never pressed to do that. In fact, it was always something I wanted to do because I've always found that writing was the most personal way of expression for me. Writing music, writing my own songs, composing my own melodies, like all of that stuff really gave me that energy and that motivation, that inspiration that I didn't really get from just playing piano, playing other people's music. I wanted to create my own music. You might not even be a musician to relate to this, right? If you're a creative of any sort, you want to put more of yourself into the world through your creative passions. There's that burning desire deep down to put something out there, but you also want to be compensated on the back end as well, right? So that's why the online business part can be so important. And that's what I talk a lot about in the rest of the videos on my channel. But more importantly, I want to share that I'm actually putting together a 5-day challenge that I want to share with you called the Life-Giving Business Challenge. And I'm going to be running this over the next couple weeks or a month. And if you want to check out the link down below in the description, it'll give you all the information there. But this challenge really is dedicated to helping you not just find a new business idea, but base it in something you actually care about and something you can actually sustain for the long run. And not only that, I want to show you during this challenge how to actually attract the ideal clients as well. So you're not just building a business, but you're also creating something that can actually attract people to your business authentically without you having to go out and, try to sell people on things like doing sales calls or like putting yourself in high pressure situations. That's never something that I would personally want for myself. And so I want to share with you how you can do exactly that and create your first offer at the very end of it as well to really kick things off. So if you want more details about that, check the first link down below. I'm really excited to share this information with you. And we're going to be doing this over the course of 5 days. You literally will have a business built in 5 days, and you'll have the exact plan to move forward to grow your audience, to create your first offer and start really seeing the proof of concept come to life. So I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this video, anything I talked about, please let me know. I'd love to interact with you and hear your thoughts. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. See you very soon.